So today's a cool day. We've got an exciting couple of hours ahead now. We're just going to go and knock on the door of the winner of Love Sundays again, Ameena Hamid. We're going to go and say hello, meet her for the first time, see what made her apply, and also see what she wants to get up to in Thailand. So tell us a little bit more about those last 7 years, what you've been up to and how you've arrived to where you are today.
So I started producing when I was 17. It just felt like a really good match of my skills because it's kind of the only space where you can be creative and analytical and logical. And so I just sort of fell in love with it and started just kind of calling myself a producer until people believed me. And then I've worked on more than 100 different shows and over the past 7 years, all different scales, from like tiny above a pub kind of shows all the way up to working on the West End. But I would say producers at my level, we're never earning the amount that we probably should be for like a company director. And then in order to make ends meet and cover all your company costs and cover your office costs, everything else, you have to do like 10 shows at once. Well, so there's a show called The Wiz, which is like The Wizard of Oz, but it was adapted. And I ended up winning an award for it, but really like that means the world to me because it was just such a representative show. And then more recently, I just did a show called Why Am I So Single, which is by the people who wrote Six, the musical. It was my first show as a lead producer in the West End, so it was quite a big deal. But also the leads, were two young people and one of them was non-binary, and I really cared about that, and I really care about a big part of my ethos is bringing voices that aren't usually heard to stages.
I see what you've done over the last 7 years I want to use the word trailblazing because you've been audacious. What's the cost of that?
Me, I guess. I think like I often describe it as like, I think trailblazing is a really interesting word because the thing that it doesn't, I guess, take into account is that you're often like banging your head against something. Everybody's just cheering, like because you've managed to smash through the thing. Nobody's thinking about the cost of that to you. And that's really hard. I think, for a long time, I did work over everything else. I missed every lunch break. I didn't exercise. I didn't do all of that stuff. There wasn't really a Sunday. I didn't really have that. Because I'd be so afraid of getting behind in that week.
Tell us about the moment that you saw Love Sundays again for the first time. What was your initial reaction?
It was a bit of like a whirlwind, I guess, from like seeing it on LinkedIn, watching the like video and watching the bit where somebody genuinely is like, is it a scam? Which I really enjoy. And just sort of going, oh well, like fuck it, I may as well apply, just see what happens. I knew about this puppetry thing that I'd been like really intrigued by for so long that it just made sense. It's so magical to me, like the ability to just sort of fall in love with a puppet that's made up of like 5 different people and the way that they work collaboratively. I just think it's such a brilliant art form. It's really easy, like because of it being 2025, it's really easy to kind of go, oh, we'll like use technology to solve a lot of the problems, and that's really great. But what I'm really interested in is sort of that like old school theatre magic of puppetry. So tell us, where are you off to exactly over the course of 4 weeks? Roughly, what's the plan so far? So starting in Bangkok, it's a really good centre for puppetry, which is a big part of why I'm going. Hopefully exploring some of the theatres out there. I'm really hopeful that I'll be able to find some people that do puppetry that are willing to chat to me about it and chat to me about how they work. Then in the middle, travelling around the south of Thailand a little bit, so island hopping a bit and finding out more about the different culture around different places, but also hoping to meet some expats in Phuket as well. Find out why they've chosen to live there, find out what their like work-life balance is like. And then flying up to Chiang Mai to finish the trip off in a quieter city, but one that has like some really cool museums, including a folk life museum, which has a lot of puppetry exhibitions and a lot of the history of it as well. So yeah, a good mix, lots of puppets, and and some really great food.
Thanks for getting this far and watching a couple of hours with Ameena. We've taken up too much of her time because she's got to go and book accommodation and plan her time in Thailand. So we will leave you to go and do that. But thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
To hear all about the plans in Thailand as well.